In the Buddha's teachings, karma, kama, is the moral law of cause and effect rooted in intention, cetanā. It is not ideology, identity, or loyalty that determines karmic results, but the mental states and actions that arise from them. When people act under the banner of nationalism, especially in ways that justify harm, the Buddha's teachings offer a clear and uncompromising framework for understanding the karmic consequences. 1. Nationalism as a mental construction, paññatti. The Buddha consistently taught that identities such as nation, race, clan, or land are conceptual labels, not ultimate realities. Clinging to them as absolute truths gives rise to attachment, upadana, and wrong view, mika-ditti. When people say my country right or wrong, the mind shifts from wisdom to group delusion, where harmful actions are excused because they serve an identity rather than truth or compassion. In Buddhist terms, this is not love, it is attachment mixed with ignorance. 2. Supporting harm creates shared karmic responsibility. Karma is individual, yet participation, approval, silence, and justification all carry karmic weight. When citizens cheer or excuse war, accept distorted history as truth, support racial discrimination, justify invasion or occupation, dehumanize neighboring peoples, they generate collective unwholesome karma, even if they never personally hold a weapon. The Buddha taught that rejoicing in harm, anumodana of evil, produces karmic results similar in nature, if not always equal in intensity, to committing the act oneself. Firstborn and killing, the heaviest karmic roots. Killing and supporting. Killing arise from hatred, dosa, and delusion, moha, 2 of the 3 unwholesome roots. Even when framed as defense, national pride, historical destiny, security, the karmic law does not change. Taking life, encouraging it, or emotionally endorsing it plants seeds of fear, collective trauma, cycles of revenge, future violence. The Buddha was explicit. No war purifies itself through justification. 4. Distorting history and spreading false narratives. The Buddha emphasized right speech and right view. Deliberately distorting history, denying atrocities, or spreading propaganda is collective false speech, rooted in fear and self-protection. Karmic results of this include loss of moral clarity, erosion of conscience, inability to recognize future wrongdoing, repeating the same violence across generations. A society that lies to itself becomes blind to its own suffering and cruelty. 5. Racial discrimination and dehumanization. The Buddha rejected caste, race, and bloodline as measures of worth. He taught that actions alone define a person, not birth or nationality. Racial discrimination arises from conceit, mana, and ignorance, creating karma that results in fear of the other, inner insecurity, social fragmentation, eventual retaliation or collapse. Dehumanizing others damages the mind of the one who hates before it ever harms the victim. 6. Invading territory and oppressing neighbors. The Buddha taught non-harming, ahimsa, and respect for boundaries, physical and moral. When a nation invades or dominates others, the aggressor accumulates karmic debt. The victims inherit trauma. Future generations on both sides suffer consequences. Power does not erase karma. It postpones its manifestation. 7. National pride versus universal compassion. True compassion in Buddhism is boundaryless. It does not stop at borders or flags. Nationalism that places one people above others justifies cruelty for our side, and demands loyalty over conscience is incompatible with right intention. The Buddha taught, hatred is never ended by hatred, but only by non-hatred. A mind trained in nationalism without wisdom cannot escape suffering. 8. Karmic results for such societies. According to Buddhist understanding, societies driven by violent nationalism inevitably experience moral decay, fear-based governance, internal oppression, generational trauma, loss of trust, and eventual instability or downfall. Even if materially successful, such societies remain inwardly tormented. 9. The Buddha's alternative path. The Buddha did not teach loyalty to land or power, but loyalty to truth, compassion, non-harming, wisdom, and responsibility. A person who refuses to support injustice, even when their own nation commits it, creates bright karma and preserves inner freedom. Core Buddhist teaching: a flag cannot purify violence, A nation cannot escape karma. Love that requires harming others is not love, it is delusion. Only actions rooted in compassion, truth, and non-harming lead to peace, for individuals, for nations, and for humanity as a whole.